Hi everyone. Today we are going to talk about chapter 1 of I Am Malala titled A Daughter is Born. This autobiography was written by Malala Yousafzai with journalist Christina and published in 2013. It tells the inspiring story of a girl who believed that education is a basic right even when many people wanted to take it away. Let's begin by understanding where her incredible journey started. This book is more than just a life story. It tells us about Malala's childhood, her family, and how life changed when the Taliban became powerful in Pakistan. The autobiography became very popular and even won several awards, but what makes it truly special is its powerful message. One voice can change the world. A daughter is born. Imagine living in a society where the birth of the daughter is not celebrated. That's exactly why this chapter is called A Daughter is Born. Malala was born in Mingaro in the beautiful Swat Valley, but this chapter isn't only about her birth. It's about the birth of hope, courage, and equality. From the very beginning, Malala's life challenged society expectations. So Swat Valley is often called the Switzerland of East. It has breathtaking mountains, rivers, and green landscapes. But behind all that beauty, there were strict social rules, especially for girls. So, while the place looked peaceful, many girls didn't have the freedom to choose their future. Mingora, Malala was born in the busy city of Mingora. It was full of markets, schools, and people. However, tradition strongly influenced everyday life, especially the roles of boys and girls. Sons versus daughters. In many families, sons were considered more valuable. They carried the family name, inherited property, and had more freedom. Daughters, on the other hand, were often seen as a responsibility because of marriage traditions. This shows the gender inequality that existed in society. Patriarchy. This is called patriarchy, a system where men hold most of the power while women are expected to remain quiet and obedient. Because of these beliefs, many girls were denied education and opportunities. Malala's story begins by questioning this unfair system. So, Ziauddin Yousafzai. Now let's meet the most important person in Malala's early life, her father, Ziauddin Yousafzai. Unlike many others, he celebrated the birth of his daughter. He distributed sweets and proudly announced her birth. His actions showed that he believed girls deserve the same respect as boys. Celebrating daughter, this may sound simple today, but at the time it was brave decision. By celebrating his daughters publicly, Ziauddin challenged the society's expectations. He taught Malala that her voice mattered and that lesson shaped her future. The power of the name Malala was named after Malala of Maiwand, a famous Pashtun heroine. Malala inspired soldiers during a battle in 1880 through her courage. By giving his daughter his name, Ziauddin hoped she would also become brave and fearless, and we all know she truly lived up to that name. Who was Malala of Maiwand? Malala wasn't queen or a soldier. She was an ordinary young woman who extraordinarily courage. Her bravery inspired many people. She became a symbol of strength and leadership. That's exactly the kind of person Malala would later become. Malala's home different from many others. She was encouraged to speak confidently, ask questions, and dream big. Instead of limiting her, her parents believed in her. This strong family support became the foundation of her activism. Regarding the education as a freedom, for Malala, Education wasn't just about school, it means freedom, confidence, opportunity. Her father believed girls deserved the same education as boys. This belief later became Malala's mission to fight for girls' education around the world. Pashtun Valley. The Pashtun people followed a traditional code called Pashtun Valley. It values honor, bravery, hospitality, and respect. However, it also places strict expectations on women and girls. So, while courage was admired, it was usually expected only from men. Regarding gender roles, girls were expected to be quiet, modest, and marry young. Many stopped going to school after reaching the puberty. Malala's family challenged these traditions. They believed girls should dream, learn, and achieve just like a boys. To conclude, this chapter is not simply about the birth of a baby girl, it is the birth of a powerful idea that girls deserve equality, education, and freedom to speak. Malala did not become a leader overnight. Her parents, especially her father, gave her confidence to believe in justice and equality, and that belief eventually inspired millions of people around the world. Let's see the summary of this poem. So, this is a famous quote by Malala: one child, one teacher, one book, and one pen can change the world. So, now we'll see the summary of this chapter. I'll read the summary. Malala Yousafzai. Malala was born on July 12, 1997. She became the youngest person to win the Nobel Prize 2014. In 2012, the Taliban tried to kill her because she spoke out for girls' right to education. After the attack, Malala went to England where she recovered, wrote a book, and continued her fight. Introduction. The book I Am Malala was written by Malala Yousafzai and published in 2013. She wrote it with British journalist Christina. This autobiography tells the story of Malala's childhood and her family. It shows how life changed before, during, and after the Taliban took over her country. This autobiography won the Goodreads 2013 award for Best Memoir. It was also a finalist for the Political Book Awards. The audiobook version won a Grammy in 2015 for Best Children's Album. Chapter 1 of I Am Malala, called A Daughter is Born, introduces the story. It starts with Malala Yousafzai's birth in Swat Valley, Pakistan, in the busy city of Mingora on July 12, 1997. But the chapter is more than just about her birth. It talks about standing up against cultural norms and the start of girl whose lives was shaped by equality, courage, and justice. These values were taught by her visionary father. The title is symbolic in a society that rarely celebrates daughters' births. Naming the chapter A Daughter is Born shows defiance and hope. This is not just personal story, it is also political. Malala's existence and her family's acceptance of her challenge the strong patriarchal values in Pakistani society, especially in Pashtun culture. Swat Valley and the cultural background. Malala talks about Mingora as a place that is both beautiful and full of contradictions. Swat Valley is called the Switzerland of East because of its beautiful mountains, green landscapes, and peaceful rivers. But behind this beauty, there are strict rules, especially about gender roles. In Pakistan, especially in conservative Pashtun areas, sons are valued more than daughters. Sons carry the family name, bring honor, inherit property, and earn money. They have more freedom. Daughters, on the other hand, are often seen as a financial burdens. Families have to pay dowries for their marriages, and girls are expected to leave their family homes. Ziauddin Yousafzai. Chapter 1 highlights the strong bond between Malala and her father Ziauddin Yousafzai. Unlike many men in his culture, Ziauddin was happy when his daughter was born. He celebrated by giving out sweets and making public announcements. This was unusual in culture where having a daughter was not always celebrated. Ziauddin went against what society and his family expected. Some of his relatives might have thought he was strong, but he stayed true to his beliefs. This shows Ziauddin's strong morals, which greatly influenced Malala. Ziauddin also chose a special name for his daughter. He named her after Malala of Maiwan, a famous Pashtun heroine. Malala inspired Afghan fighters during a war in 1880. When the fighters were losing, she encouraged them with her bravery. Even though she died in the battle, Malala became a symbol of courage and female strength. By naming his daughter Malala, Ziauddin wanted her to be strong and brave like Malala. As we know, Malala grew up to have these qualities. Define patriarchy from birth. Malala's early life was influenced by her father's quiet challenge to traditional rules. In many homes in Pakistan, girls are told not to speak loudly, join public life, or go to school. But Malala's life was different from the start. Her father wanted to her speak up, ask questions, and learn. This kind of home was rare in her area. This chapter shows an important truth. Malala did not become an activist by chance. Her parents, especially her father, shaped her to believe in fairness and equality. Pashtun culture, honor, family, and gender roles. Pashtun Valley is a traditional set of rules that Pashtun people follow. It values honor, hospitality, bravery, and revenge, but it also has strict rules for men and women. Girls must be obedient, modest, and quiet. They are expected to marry young and often stop going to school when they reach puberty. Pashtunwali praises courage and pride, but usually not for women, except for rare figures like Malala. Malala's father disagrees with these views. He uses Malala's story to support women's rights, not to hold them back. He wants his daughter to be brave, using their culture's history of courage. Conclusion. In this first part of the book, I Am Malala, the author describes her childhood experiences, talking about her great relationship with her parents and raising some questions about the culture and religion in which she lived. This chapter is not just about Malala's birth, it's about the birth of an idea that girl can also be strong, influential, and change the world. Thank you.